Hey guys, hey. This is Evadne joining you again to check in. It's 24 hours past since we started the fasting, and now we are officially into day 2 of our fast. So I want to know who has been hanging in there, who did well, how well did you do? Did you guys get tempted to eat something today? I stayed the course. I did my time, and I'm doing pretty well up to this point. Um so let me know, guys, how is it going for you? Okay. I also need to know who is really doing the fast, if anyone is doing it, so that I can encourage you guys personally and give you a shout out. So please indicate in the chat if you are in fact doing the fasting. Um, I would love to play something for you this evening. I came across a video of a set of twins doing fasting, or well, they did the fast, but they came out with two different results. So I thought it was kind of funny that, you know, they said that they pretty much do the same thing and eat the same type of meal, and they did the fast together, but they came out with different results. One of them has on more weight than the other in general. um, I think it's just a bit too noisy in here at this time. Let me see something here. Okay, so I'll play this. Emily and I used to film every video together when we started Keto Twins, but then COVID happened and we were doing like social distancing and seeing each other for a while. Now, we live together, so we're able to film again, and we've been really motivated to start doing like twin versus twin challenges again because you guys really seem to enjoy that. So a couple of weeks ago, Emily and I did an egg fast for 5 days where we only ate eggs for 5 days. Egg fast. And we'll link the results from that video. Have you guys ever heard of egg fast? A decent amount of weight. And so we decided to carry on with that trend, if you will, this week by doing a 72-hour fast where we pretty much didn't eat. Okay, so these girls, the young ladies, they are the Keto Twins. They're on YouTube, Keto Twins, and they're talking about their fast. I've never heard of an egg fast. If you have, just let me know. But that's strange to me. For almost 3 days. So we're going to go over our results. So Emily, why don't you tell us about your fasting experience? Coming into this week, I didn't have high hopes for this fast just because I've been having such success like the last 3 weeks. I lost about 12 pounds this month so far, and so how long can like this continue was my question. So it was more like out of curiosity to see if I could lose any more weight because 12 pounds is a lot. And I don't even think I lost 12 pounds when I was like 250 pounds in a matter of like 3 or 4 weeks. So I really had low expectations coming into this fast. What about you? So going into this fast for me, I was really hopeful that I would lose a lot of weight because I haven't been losing a ton of weight in the past couple of weeks. I think I've been fluctuating like 3 or 4 pounds, going up and down. So the last time I did a 72-hour fast, I had lost about 5 or 6 pounds, and I was really happy with that result. So going into this one, I was like, sign me up because I need to catch up to Emily now because we're pretty much about like 10 pounds apart. And yeah, so I had really good expectations going into this one. And did you find the fast hard? So this is not my first time doing a 72-hour fast, so I feel like it gets easier every time you do it. Like the first time I did it, I felt like it was a lot more difficult. than it is now. Now it's just kind of like I know that I'm going to be okay if I don't eat. Like you do have hunger pains and things like that, but they go away. I mean, the only time it would be really difficult for me was when my husband was eating dinner, and that would be a little hard. But I actually added in some chicken broth into my fast just to like hold me over while he was eating.
Hey guys, keep down the noise.
And electrolytes, right? So I did add in electrolytes. I really like the Element brand. The citrus lime one is just like a margarita. So I actually felt like that was a treat because I would eat and it would be like flavor. Exactly. It just like tastes like whoa. You feel like satisfied from that. And I only had that, and I had chicken broth, and there's very low calories in both of those things. Like the chicken broth has like 5 calories or something like that. So I really feel like adding those two things really helped me get through the fast. What about you? I pretty much the same. I didn't even really feel hungry the first day. I did take the Element electrolytes every day, and I really felt that they like gave me something that I was missing. They are salty almost, but I don't know. We've talked about them before. We can link it below if you want to check it out. Read the reviews; they're awesome. But I feel like that was my only flavor that I was having in my mouth, during the whole 72 hours. So I was really thankful for that after a while.
Okay, so based on what these ladies are saying, they did have bone broth during their fast, right? But well, I have always said that you could have that if you have some kind of emergency, like you feel like you're not going to make it, you're feeling extremely weak or so on, depending on your body. But I don't do bone broth. Um, I don't take coffee. They also speak about drinking coffee. I don't do coffee nor tea. So I am just doing water, straight water. But the water that I drink, it states on the bottle that it has electrolyte. I don't know how much electrolyte is in it. And I usually keep another electrolyte at home just in case I need it, like in the morning if I wake up and I'm extremely weak and can't, get myself going, then I would probably have to resort to that. But that would not happen in the first day or even day two. That would probably be like around day three before you get to that stage. Um, but I have successfully done fasting straight with just water and not having to do any of those things. But I remember I took an iron tablet once, and it kind of kicked things out because then I started to feel really weak and had to end up drinking the electrolyte. So, yeah.
If you are like watching this and you're thinking about doing a 72-hour fast because you've never done one before and you've never done like any fasting, I wouldn't necessarily try to do a 72-hour fast right off the bat. It is quite different than only doing 16-8 or something like that. You will probably not feel very good if you're trying to do this for the first time. That would be my advice. Sarah and I are pretty much used to eating only once a day for the most part, and we've done a lot of 48-hour ones before, and so this is not like that much longer. You pretty much are going like, okay, tomorrow I'll eat. Like I only have like 12 hours left or something like that. So to me, this wasn't that much of a challenge. Oh, and another thing, I don't move much, and I don't we're not like going anywhere because of COVID. I feel like if you were like very active, it would be harder to do this, like 72 hours. I didn't do anything. That sounds terrible, but I just was home, just kind of.
So there's a lot of truth to what they said about, depending on how active you are, it would be easier or difficult. Um, the last two fasts I've done, the last two 72 hours fast, they were more challenging to me because I was up and about and, being around more food, doing more activities, um, stuff with the business and so on. So they proved to be much more difficult than the the one I've done before that, where I was just at home and didn't have so many different things going on. You understand? So I think this is what they're saying. If you are, more stationed, in one place, not moving around a lot, it is much easier. So even though before I was able to jump on the machine and exercise and all that, it's not the same set of challenge as it is when you are in a situation where your lifestyle is very active. Like you used to hear Michelle calling in, she just got in from work and she's the long commute and blah blah blah. It is much more challenging, or Sheila with work. It's much more challenging when you're doing it with those constraints than when you're at home. So that's why it is probably going to be best for someone who is trying to do this across a weekend if they're working, because then you're not as active as you would be during the work week when you have to be up and down making, with your job, your commute, and everything else. So I totally understand what they're saying and agree.
Like watching Ozark on Netflix, like I didn't really like go out and do a lot of stuff. Like I wasn't gardening or doing lawn work or anything like that. But I would like exert myself. I feel like I would feel a little differently about it if I was, going on the train to work. And then so maybe this is a good time to try it because you're at home anyway. And I actually like doing these types of fasts or just like intermittent fasting in general because I feel like food loses the power over you that it had before. As someone that has struggled with their weight their entire life, like me and you, I know that I have issues with food, and then just fasting proves that, like, no, I don't need to eat it, and it makes me feel very powerful to be able to say no. And it helps me even when I'm like going out and people offer me carbs. I'm just like, no, I don't want to eat it. It doesn't even like bother me anymore. So I do feel like fasting will give you that that boost and make you feel really like you're making the right choices. So I would recommend it for anybody who might be in that situation. I feel like it's different now, like that if you're like fasting and you're like on this video because you were looking up 72-hour fast results and you're like on a diet that you eat carbs still, you're gonna have a very, very different experience than us who have been on keto for so long, because the term hangry. Yeah. You don't know hangry until you've been, I mean, I used to get hangry after not eating for like 5 hours. Can you imagine a 72-hour fast? That's why keto and fasting, they go so hand in hand, because your blood sugar is like straight and you don't get hangry. I would suggest if you aren't keto, you should probably cut back on the carbs before you try 72-hour fast, because you might have keto flu or something like that from switching over.
Okay, so this is always an advice that we would share here. When you're going into fasting, cut down on carbs. The less carbs that you have in your system going into fasting, it's the better for you. It's better for your body to burn fat. It's better for you to cope, right? And they're pretty much saying the same thing, that well, they're on keto diet, so they're not eating carb in their regular everyday, well, only carb from vegetables, because they're only doing vegetables and meat on their keto diet. So yeah, it is true that it's best not to go in with a lot of carbs in your system. Try to cut down on the carb before you actually start the fast. If you start the fast having a lot of carb inside, it's much harder for you to hold it down, and it takes a longer time for your body to go into ketosis. That's the whole idea. It starts burning fat later than if you went in without the excess carb in your system. So that is why you need to pay attention to that before you actually start a fast.
Yeah, and then it takes you a while to get fasted, so you might feel really terrible actually if you do a 72-hour fast. I don't know. I've never done it I've never fasted while I was eating carbs, so I wouldn't know. But I would imagine it'd be very difficult. Just another little note to add is that last week, if you watched our last video, I mentioned that I had keto rash here that developed after our 5-day egg fast. And so I was really afraid that was going to happen, because I feel like when I'm in really, really deep ketosis, I tend to get keto rash some of the time now, obviously. So I'm very happy to report that didn't happen. All right, so the moment that you've all been waiting for, let us find out the results of our twin versus twin 72-hour fast challenge. Drum roll. I, Emily, started off my keto weight loss journey at 262 pounds. At the beginning of this fast, I weighed in at 169.8 pounds. And today, 72 hours later, I weigh in at 168 pounds, which is 1.8 pounds, but I'm going to call it 2 pounds. It's almost 2 pounds. I have lost a total of 95 pounds since I started my ketogenic weight loss journey. That's awesome. Congrats. 5 more pounds to 100. That's a huge accomplishment. And we haven't been in the 160s since we were like 10 years old. Maybe 11. So going into the 160s is like a goal of mine. A goal, a future goal. Well, you're going to get there at some point. Anyway, so I guess we'll talk about my results now. So I started off my weight loss journey at 242 pounds. So a little bit less than Emily, about 20 pounds less. So I weighed in last week at 178.4, and I weighed in today at 178.6. So I gained 0.2 pounds from. How is that possible? I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. The last time I did a 72-hour fast, I think that it didn't show up right away, the results. And really? Yeah, so I did it like midweek, and then Emily and I recorded on a weekend. And that's really when the weight started to come off. So I feel like there's a lag. Delayed fuse? I feel like it takes time for calories to start showing and like compounding for weight loss. I mean, you could drink like a gallon of water and gain like 6 pounds. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm hoping by the weekend and maybe editing me will insert here if I did lose weight. I hope that there's actually a number there. If I didn't, then I didn't. I'm hoping that my weight will go down.
All right, so these ladies both had different results. One lost some weight, and the other did not lose any weight. She, in fact, gained weight. There's such a thing as water weight. If you're drinking a lot of water and you're not using it, or your body is not using it as fast, it can make you appear to have more pounds on. So be careful of that. I've seen um, like you have a certain amount of weight during the day, and if you go to sleep and wake up, your weight is going to change. Seriously, if you go to sleep and wake up, especially if you have not been resting a lot, whenever you get the chance to get a good sleep, your weight will decline. So you have to be careful about the dynamics of those few pounds, anywhere from 1 to 4 pounds, they can drive you crazy because it will go up and down depending on what you eat, how much you drink, whether you exercise, whether you're rested. My doctor always said to me, if you don't get enough rest, you will not lose weight. And that's true because when I get rest, when I sleep, my weight would go down. So it could be some of those factors that cause them to have this variation in weight. But towards the end, one of the young ladies, the one who is experiencing more weight loss, they were discussing that she's using a sauna blanket, this blanket that she goes into, and it kind of had her sweating, and maybe that is why she would lose more weight than her other sister. But it was a pretty interesting video by the Keto Twins. You can look them up online if you want to learn more about their weight loss journey. But they have been doing very well in terms of how many pounds they have lost overall, um, because they have been on a keto diet. Okay, so let's see what results we will come up with here. I did not weigh in, so I will not be able to share any kind of number of how many pounds I lose at the end of this. Honestly, you want to lose weight, but the numbers don't matter to me anymore. As long as I can see it in my face, as long as I feel on my body that some of the pounds come off, that's fine. That's enough for me. I am not obsessed with numbers in terms of weight anymore. I just need to see my clothes fit a certain way. Some things that I couldn't get in before, as long as it fits now, that's okay. And as long as the excess fat comes off my face, the double chin thing will go away quickly. So I can tell when I lose weight. So I'm not really obsessed with that. You just want to be healthy. You just don't want to have any kind of pain. If you're suffering from back pain and all of this, quickly you will know that you're losing weight or your fasting is effective because you stop feeling the pains. I spoke earlier today about the sinus issue. If your sinuses start to clear up, that's good enough. Talking about numbers and how many pounds you take off is good sometimes, but sometimes the other benefits that you get is even better. So let's stick with that. Just don't be overly obsessed with pounds, but results in terms of your overall health and wellness and how you feel, and the things that you have lost along the way as you fast. Um, I have always spoken to you about finding yourself in a, a better mental state when you're fasting, being among positive people, having a positive mindset, doing your affirmations, being aware of how your spirit works, how it leads you, how to control certain things around you because of the mindset that you have and the frame of mind that you are in, and how these will affect you, how you relate to people, how your whole demeanor, your attitude, how it will be different because you're fasting, how calm you will be, and how together. And these are all things that you can observe about yourself when you're in a mode of fasting. You can see it happening right in front of your own eyes, right? Okay, you become so peaceful, so calm, so serene, and remember to pray. Pray for what you want. Pray for what what's important in your life as you go through this journey. So just don't just make it about weight loss. Make it about your whole spiritual life, um, your whole balance. Your relationship with yourself and your attitude, your you're believing in a higher power and how that affects your life. So don't just fast to lose weight, fast to be a better person, fast to be a more humble person, fast to be a more stable minded person, fast to be more calm, fast to be more understanding, more empathic, right? All of these things help you as an individual to grow. So in this process, you should not go into 72 hours fasting and come out the same way. You should not exit on the other side the same way you went in. You should come out a better person. I hope that is the dream and the plan for everyone who is inside this program doing this fasting. You should always go in with a plan. You should always go in expecting certain results. For example, I started this fasting truly expecting better for my business, growth for my business, um, and for my own self in the process. Because when you grow, the things around you that you touch will grow with you. So I'm expecting, that blessing at the end of this, right? I'm expecting that I will have more knowledge, more wisdom, more vision on how to grow this business to alarming success, right? So be mindful of what you want when you go into fasting, right? Don't go in there trying to hurt anybody. Don't go in there with bad vibes that you're going to pray, for bad things to happen to other people, because it might be reversed onto you. Always reach for good. Always reach for good. Even when people hurt you or people disappoint you or people do stuff to you, do not pray bad prayers for them. Just leave it to God. Leave it to God. Strive for goodness. Strive to be a great person. No matter what people do to you, strive to be great. Don't let them drag you down to their level. Don't get into the mud with them. Always try to be a good person. All right, so I'm going to leave you with those thoughts this evening. Always strive to be a good person. Always pray to be a good person. Keep that on your mind, in your heart, and meditate on those things. How can I be better? How can I be? How can I be someone that people would want to emulate? How can I be kind and loving to each person I interact with as I go along the way? Earlier this evening, a guy came in here, and he, I asked him if he wanted to, if he was interested in teas. He said, not really. So I said, okay. At least he didn't say no. So I said, would you look at what I have? And, I started to show him, and I said, would you like to taste one of the teas? And I gave it to him, and he said, what is this? And I told him, and he tasted it. He loved it. And he drank the sample I gave him. And then after he drank the tea I gave him, he said, can I have a cup of this? And I said, okay, I could make you a cup, right? And he paid me, and I started to make it. So when he took it from me, I handed him the cup, and it was just the beer cup, but I felt the hot cup. So I got the napkin and I gave him the napkin, and he he started talking about, just the service, the way I treated him like a person. Um, he didn't just like the tea, he was just totally impressed with the experience. And I said, I'm going to videotape you saying that. And he repeats the whole thing, for me to tape it on video. Unfortunately, the entire video was not recorded on the phone. The phone kind of just kicked out part of the recording, but a piece of it was recorded. But it's that thing I'm telling you about, how people will sense your calmness, people will sense your peace, people will sense the peacefulness in you, and they will pick up on that vibration, right? People come through here every day, these, since I'm here in the shop, and they will be like, oh, I like to come to this spot, it's so peaceful and nice in here. They will smell the herbs, and that's natural, you will smell them. And but apart from the smell of the herbs, they just feel this serene uh, atmosphere as soon as they come to this spot, um, I like that. I like the comments. I like that people feel that way when they come here. And I I don't go out of my way to be nice to people, but I like when people recognize that you're being nice, or they have a different experience dealing with you. And so I encourage you guys, if you have a troubled spirit, just do some fasting to calm your spirit, calm yourself, get yourself streamlined, get yourself in a different mood, in a different place, so your brain is in a different place. It doesn't matter the stress you are undergoing, it doesn't matter the trial and the tribulation, it doesn't matter how many people you need to forgive because people have done so many wrong to you. It doesn't matter all of that. What matters is you. It's you. It's how you take whatever is coming at you. It's how you absorb all the troubles and trial and tribulation all around you every day. It makes a difference. So if you want to get hold of yourself, your life, your attitude, your your power, if you want to tap into your power, because once you know how to control your own power, you can tap into it. It makes you even more powerful. So if you want to do that, do fasting. It makes you a much more composed and powerful person, right? And after you have that, other things will flow, other things will fall into place. People will sense that when they deal with you, right? So I'm leaving that with you this evening, guys. And please remember to share this broadcast and be a part of the fasting. Don't just watch. Don't just be here to listen and never take action. Because my experience, I can only share that with you, but you cannot be a part of that experience. You have to have your own experience. You have to step inside of that place where you, whether it is surrendering or just leaving yourself vulnerable to receive a blessing, to be a different person, you have to take that journey by yourself. And I would encourage any one of you to take that journey to see how you will come out on the other side, right? It's not just being beautiful, it's not just looking perfect, it's not just the glow that you will get, but you will get a different feeling, a different vibe where you have gone through that. So, again, welcome to day 2. And I hope I will see you guys tomorrow in day 3. Tomorrow, no. So tomorrow I will talk to you while we're still in day 2. And then at 6:30 tomorrow, we will start day 3, right? So take good care of yourself, guys. Thank you for watching. Hey, rollers. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for joining. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Bye bye.